Seeing the light has never felt so bleak. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 reasons The Lighthouse is a must-see.
Tell me, what's a timberman want with being a wiki?
Just looking to earn a living, just like any man. Starting new.
On the run.
For this list, we're taking a look at why this black and white horror film is going to blow audiences out of the water.
Keeping secrets, are you?
No, sir.
Number 10. You've never seen anything like it.
How long have we been on this rock? 5 weeks? 2 days? Help me to recollect.
Distributor A24 has become something of a beacon for filmmakers with ambitious visions and unique stories to tell.
At some point, you gotta decide for yourself who you're gonna be. Can't let nobody make that decision for you.
We can certainly see why the studio was drawn to Robert Eggers' latest film, which appropriately sticks out like a lighthouse. The New York Post's Sarah Stewart wrote in her review, "It's a rare pleasure to encounter a movie so genuinely strange you're not sure how to define what you've just seen." Indeed, to describe The Lighthouse as a horror film would hardly do it justice. Even if certain motifs and themes may seem familiar, the movie more or less plunges its audience into uncharted territory. According to Kevin Marr of the Times UK, it has the feel of a newly discovered artifact from F.W. Murnau, the legendary German director. Number 9. The setting.
What made your last keeper leave?
Although lighthouses are supposed to help guide ships to safety, the setting of this film is a beacon of insanity.
He believed that there was some enchantment.
Much like Hill House or the Bates Motel, the titular lighthouse emits such an eerie, sinister presence that it's practically a character. Not since Annihilation has one appeared more alarming or mysterious. The production design is a masterpiece of gothic horror. As Variety's Owen Gleiberman pointed out in his review, the entire structure was built for the film, though you'd swear it's an actual lighthouse that's been around for 150 years. As if the setting wasn't already claustrophobic enough, the old-school 1.19:1 aspect ratio makes the audience feel as if they're trapped in a padded cell, with the walls of madness closing in.
Went mad, he did. Tall tales. What?
Number 8. It wears its influences on its sleeve. While the film bears Eggers' distinct signature, cinephiles will be able to pinpoint his creative influences. Eggers makes it no secret that he's a fan of legendary Swedish filmmaker Ingmar Bergman.
Det är orimligt att leva i världen. Ännu orimligare att befolka med nya stackare. Och allra orimligast att tro att de ska få det bättre än vi.
Det där är svepskäl.
Kalla det vad du vill.
In addition to evoking his style, The Lighthouse touches upon many of the themes Bergman's films explored, especially loneliness. Vice's River Donaghy even said the film is like Ingmar Bergman decided to direct the world's most messed up adaptation of The Crucible.
It's not on a ship we'll meet again, Abigail, but in hell.
The film also possesses echoes of David Lynch, drawing comparison to surreal masterworks like Eraserhead and Mulholland Drive. Discussing The Lighthouse, Hereditary director Ari Aster favorably compared it to the works of Harold Pinter, who wrote the play No Man's Land and adapted the psychological drama The Servant to the screen. Number 7. It's surprisingly funny.
Daddy! Let Neptune strike ye dead, Winslow!
Going into The Lighthouse, the audience won't entirely know what to expect.
All right, have it your way.
Perhaps the biggest surprise is just how many laughs the film has. Between a scene involving a mermaid and fart jokes galore, this may be the weirdest and funniest art house picture since Swiss Army Man.
Carrying you around? Oh, that's not funny.
Vanyaland's Nick Johnston went as far as to call the film a pitch black and often uproariously funny comedy, adding, "It cannot be stressed just how wacky this incredibly goofy movie is," with Pattinson and Dafoe both playing into the patent ridiculousness of their characters and their individual variations on drunken madness. Honestly, if you substituted Mark Corvin's chilling musical score with the Odd Couple theme, this could pass as the most deranged sitcom ever produced. Number 6, the Lovecraftian horror influence.
What? What? What?
Mermaids aren't the only mythical aquatic creatures that pop up in the Lighthouse. Just as our leads descend into the abyss of insanity, they become tangled in literal tentacles. Author H.P. Lovecraft seems to be more popular than ever nowadays, and this film is crawling with his cosmic horror influence. Serena Fisher of Bloody Disgusting wrote, "The writers drew their inspiration from the works of Herman Melville and H.P. Lovecraft, and this becomes more and more apparent as the story progresses. As is the case with many of Lovecraft's stories, The Lighthouse is about the fear of the unknown. Will confronting the unknown swallow the characters whole or allow them to finally see the light? It's an homage even Lovecraft himself might have appreciated."
What? 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 What?
Number 5, the ending.
Very particular language, very beautiful events, huge question marks where the adventure would take you.
Whereas so many other films follow a standard formula, The Lighthouse refreshingly keeps its audience guessing where exactly this bizarre story is going. In his Chicago Sun-Times review, Brian Tallarico stated, "It has the feel of watching someone else's nightmare, and it's not one that's going to end well." While we won't delve into any spoilers, let's just say this twisted tale climaxes with a shocking finale that's perfectly in sync with the rest of the film. As the star's Peter Howell put it, "The result is a psychological nightmare that gnaws at the brain long after the disturbing final image assaults the retina."
And we were going to be out in the elements, and there's the two of us, and some other secrets, but mostly the two of us.
Number 4, it's genuinely unsettling.
Why don't you spill your beans?
While Kyle Anderson of The Nerdist felt The Lighthouse wasn't quite as scary as Eggers' previous film, The Witch, he did say it works on a much deeper, more psychologically upsetting level. This is one of those movies that makes the audience part of the experience, as sheer lunacy oozes out of the screen and into the theater.
Why don't you spill your beans?
Just as Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson's characters find themselves losing their minds, filmgoers will begin to question their own sanity and just what the heck they're watching. Never sure who to fear most, Dafoe, Pattinson, or another force that's creeping in. It's that unknown element that makes The Lighthouse such a disturbing yet engaging trip.
Why don't you spill your beans?
Number 3, Robert Eggers' direction.
What dost thou want, Catherine? Tell me, and I will give it thee.
I want to be home.
With his directorial debut, The Witch, Robert Eggers asserted himself as a filmmaker to watch. This chilling folktale earned Eggers 2 Independent Spirit Awards for Best First Screenplay and Best First Feature. Eggers' follow-up film is already bringing him more accolades, including an International Federation of Film Critics Prize at the 2019 Cannes Film Festival. It's not surprising that Eggers started out as a production designer. Every inch of The Lighthouse is a visual tour de force. Of course, the look of the film is crucial to the haunting atmosphere and unnerving narrative Eggers weaves. To quote Joseph Walsh of Time Out, "The Lighthouse leaves you dazed, terrified, and elated, and it signals Eggers as one of the most exciting directors working today."
People seem to understand my intentions, which is like more than you could ask for.
Number 2, the cinematography.
The visual language is so precise, and the camera is so precise. You always got to keep things alive.
Speaking of atmosphere, if there's one category in which The Lighthouse is almost guaranteed to score an Oscar nomination, it's Best Cinematography. You only need to look at a few stills from this movie to know that Eggers and cinematographer Jaron Blaschke have crafted an indisputable work of art.
There's a lot of challenges for me because I bit off more than I could chew on purpose.
The filmmakers made the brilliant decision to film the picture in black and white, creating a grim, otherworldly locale where even the slightest glimmer of light is hard to come by.
Doing this meticulously crafted camera work with cranes and dollies on a spit of rock with demanding scenes, it's It's a lot.
Michael Leader of Little White Lies praised the camera work and lighting, stating, Yaron Blaschka lights interiors sparingly, leaving whole scenes in the island's dingy cabin to play out in near darkness, all the better to accentuate the life-saving, life-giving glow that periodically illuminates the oppressive gloom. The result is stunning. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The performances. Willem Dafoe is a legend who only seems to grow better with age, and the impressive Robert Pattinson continues to evolve as an actor with every daring new role he takes on.
I think there's something about the script. There's very few scripts you come across which allow for such basically a kind of limitless degree of intensity in the performance.
The Lighthouse is essentially a two-man show, with both of these actors turning in arresting, distressing, and at times even hysterical performances. Both are fantastic individually, with Dafoe inhabiting the persona of a salty sea dog, with Pattinson earning comparison to Daniel Day-Lewis's Oscar-winning work in There Will Be Blood.
My straw reaches across the room and starts to drink your milkshake. I drink your milkshake.
Together, these two make for 2019's most fascinating on-screen duo, knocking drinks back 1 minute and nearly knocking each other out the next. Eric Cohn of IndieWire couldn't have said it better. Quote, "It's the best movie about bad roommates ever made."
Nothing good can happen when two men are trapped alone in a giant phallus.
Love that. We really want to make that clear. That's
Yeah.
what it's about.
Yeah.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.